N.H. Phillips, 308 27th Street. I discussed the topic of the City of Brigantine's website at the last council meeting. Since then, I've learned of additional facts and questions which need your and the public's attention. This website should be a city-owned and controlled function used to keep the public here and elsewhere informed about Brigantine. It should be an important publicly owned asset for communication, transparency, and keeping people up to date about local facts, events, and facilities. Since the last meeting, 2 major legal changes have taken place regarding this web domain, eliminating one legal problem with ownership and administration, but then creating another one. This website is still not owned and administered by the city. The new owner, registrant, and administrator is Mr. Michael Aponte from Somerdale, New Jersey, of the South Jersey Technology Partnership, the group that designed the website. Its responsibility is a technical one, not one of running and owning the website. The owner/registrant should be listed as the city manager for the City of Brigantine. The administrator who posts site content should be a city employee appointed by the city manager. One person should have the final responsibility for all content, and all parties should be identified clearly and publicly. That's accountability. Two key questions now are: who has the username and the password to access the city's website, and who now determines the content on that site? Please reply.
Well, the city manager would be the person to answer that,
yes,
and she's not here this evening. I don't know if our acting city manager has any information in that regard.
Tim, didn't you own it before as an employee of the City of Brigantine?
Well,
and you were the domain?
Yes. What happens with that, I had to pay for that, and then I get reimbursed from the city.
Right, you had to use a credit card or something since the city doesn't have a credit card.
What I've done recently since the last council meeting, went into the register and changed it to, I've called them a couple times, left a message for Mr. Aponte, who manages the site now, the company. I was able to go in on the back end on my side and change the register to that company and his name in there to take mine off it.
Yeah, that was the first legal move.
Right, Mrs. Phillips.
Well, you just said you wanted the city employee to have it, and he
I
was the city
said
employee.
the
now
city,
he's the chief of police, and
no,
you didn't want him to have it.
We're talking about the owner. The registrant is the owner. The owner is now listed as Michael Aponte. He lives in Somerdale, New Jersey.
Right.
He works with the South Jersey Technology Partnership.
And I can probably tell you why that's the case, but I would be speculating, but I have seen it happen before.
The point is, who owns it?
The owner of the site, technically, is the person who paid for it. They own the domain name. The reason for that is the companies that you register websites with only take credit cards. They only take a credit card from the person who's on that card.
Excuse me, the city should own the City of Brigantine website.
Mrs. Phillips, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I'm just telling you operationally the way it works. So what probably occurred before is if Chief Reed was the person who registered the site, he probably had to use his personal credit card with a domain hosting company. If you want to call like GoDaddy or any of those on your own, you please do that and ask them if they take a purchase order. They don't. So what happens is he becomes the person who is on that domain name, and he is the one who would have the authority to release that name. These are huge companies. They're going to get back to you, but it's going to be in 6 different emails. But what I want to mention is the content, my understanding, is that the city manager is responsible for the content that goes on that site. South Jersey Technology Partners aren't generating content. They're going to get content from the city manager, or the department heads are going to generate content, give it to the city manager, then it goes on the site. They are just a company that is hosting the site and managing the site for the city of Brigantine. It's not unusual. I've seen it happen before. You're getting hung up on who paid for the domain name.
No, I'm not. I realize that the company is, they designed the site. However, they do not have anything to do with running the site, owning it, or running it.
They do. My understanding is they post the content. Chief Reed, correct me?
We get the content from us.
We get the content from us, sent to them, they put it on the site. Is that correct?
Exactly. They get it from the city manager, Jennifer Blumenthal. Anything that goes on the site comes from her, passed on to them.
Tim, who owns the site?
Who owns the site? The city of Brigantine.
No, this does not. The city manager has nothing to do with it at the moment. Michael Aponte owns the site. I have it right here.
Right. And there is a way to change that. And I think that's what Chief Reed was talking about.
We're in the process of that. I spoke to Mr. Aponte back when they started doing it, and I asked them, and I gave them full access to my account to transfer the domain out of my account. Last week I went in there and changed the register to Aponte and South Jersey Technical.
No, just Mr. Michael Aponte.
He works for South Jersey Tech.
I know that.
It's not like somebody owns the site that is, sitting in an area doing nefarious things with our content. They're a company that is...
We hired.
That was hired by the city of Brigantine to manage the website.
No, they designed the website.
And right now they're managing
anything to earn content and so on should be coming through the city and the city manager.
Exactly. I think we're saying the same thing, but what you're not understanding, I guess, is that...
Yes, I do understand.
Well, what I think you're not understanding then is that the content is generated by the city of Brigantine and then sent to South Jersey Technology Partnerships to post on the website. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So there's no employee in Brigantine who has access to the site to post information right now. I agree with you, though, that it should at some point transition back here and have somebody manage it at the local level.
Well, yes, that's the way it should be. Who has the username access? Who has access to the site in the city? Has the username and the password?
I have no idea. Tim, I don't know if you know.
Well, I think there should be, the point of doing this, there should be greater awareness.
Mr. Aponte from South Jersey Technical.
No, what, you saying Mr. Aponte is the only one who has a username and password and has access to that site?
As far as I know, I don't know. I don't work for that.
Well, I think that needs to be clarified.
You need to
I think it
clarify
should
with the
be
manager.
coming through the city, and the city council should be aware. This is our website. It should belong to the city of Brigantine, and it goes not only here in Brigantine, it goes all over. And I think there should be greater control, knowledge and control of what is taking place and who has access to that site.